Forward to cloud. Okay.
Well, good morning, everyone. J. Michael Smith here from Tyler, Texas, great USA. Welcome to Mentor Monday on Monday, the 19th, 2025. Where has May gone? But welcome to everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces coming in here now, and welcome to everyone from all over the world. Gosh, I see from all over the globe. But welcome, warm welcome to all of you. We've got a great presentation for you today. A couple of real quick highlights. Just remember, we're coming off our National Leadership Conference in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, and really created some momentum here in North America, United States, and Canada with free enrollment this month with any purchase of any product. They waived the $25 enrollment fee. We've got new programs for builders with bonuses and loyalty points. So get with your people, get with your upline, and get with, if you don't know about some of these new promotions coming down through corporate, get back with those, and they'll be glad to share all that information with you. But today, with Dave and Gabby, most of you know, with their sailing through the Mediterranean with about 80 other For Life people and golds and platinums, along with David Lisenby and the corporate office. By the way, today's David Lisenby's birthday, so make sure you go wish him a happy birthday on his Facebook page or on his social media. But since they're on a trip in the Mediterranean, we've got a very special guest today, and I'm going to turn this over to my good friend and business partner, Miss Gillian. She is building internationally. She's building from a little tiny French island in the Caribbean. My gosh, it's St. Martin. And so our topic today is the emerging markets, how you build around the world. We've got guests today from Bangladesh, how you build in Bangladesh, Kenya. We're going to focus on Africa primarily, but I think we're going to have a general topic. But Gillian, I'll let you introduce our speaker, but you go first. Take over.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to everybody here. And we're actually live inside Upline Pro Inner Circle. So we're hoping that we can keep that process happening on an ongoing basis, but bear with us if we have tech issues. We do still record this, and it does go to the Upline Pro Global YouTube, so they can always go back and look at any previous editions. So, but I would love to see some interactions inside the community. If you're not able to join the Zoom live, which I do recommend you do so, but if you aren't able to, please comment in the chat inside the Facebook community. So we'll have somebody, J. Michael's checking, and we'll try to respond to any questions like we can. I'm really excited actually today to get to know somebody that is basically, I would have to say she's the right-hand person for Dave Daughtrey. You know, with everybody's success, typically there's always somebody behind the scene that helps keep somebody organized and help somebody, you know, basically help them with their mission. I'm actually building a mission right now with the Feel Good Sugar team, and a lot of the new volunteers are here today to learn about what we do when it comes to helping not only share good, but with the For Life mission to helping people earn beyond borders, beyond limits. And that was the theme for today, is how can we earn beyond borders and beyond limits. And I'm going to share briefly my story and then introduce you to a wonderful lady. I'd like to get to know her. And don't worry, for those that want to do what we're doing and want to learn how to do it, we will be sharing some documents later, not so much right now, but we will be going over an overview today that is possible. And then we'll be supplying you with some checklists that are going to help you make it easier for those that are new to what we're doing. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story and how I came in about this movement. I remember Claudia mentioned For Life to me when we were trying to build out a solution for the detox program. For those who don't know, you know, we do have a detox program that we've merged with For Life that's exclusive to our Dr. Ronnie team to help people lose 21 pounds in 21 days, but with the added benefit of the longevity principles, right? So we all know how amazing the products are for longevity, but we kind of partnered the two together. Now, I never really realized that I could actually segment that and be an affiliate alongside For Life and make money until I really did some research on it. For those, that have lived in markets that are not US based, or, in a primary country where there is an LP center or a corporate office with pro-life, sometimes there's a little bit of, a disconnect, thinking that we're on our own and we can't do it. I have worked in the past in direct sales where I've worked for a corporate company, and, we were limited to just being able to build our business in Canada because that's what the Canadian corporation said that we could only do, right? Now, imagine somebody like myself who's always had an opportunity to earn, because I was working in Canada, I worked in North America, and I had a connection locally within that tax bracket to be able to work. Then all of a sudden, I moved to another country, which is St. Martin, and then with COVID, we had to stay in this country, but it was a chosen decision. We wanted to do so, but I was limited on how I could earn, primarily because I'm in a small island. But I, at that point was transitioning my rights to get residency here. So the island is very small, and in order for me to get a job locally, I had to speak French. I don't speak French. So I'm limited to how I can earn. So the next step is, how do I, can I get a job in the US? I have done it many times before, but I was based out of Canada. So things of bureaucracy allowed me to earn money because of the circumstances of where I lived and resided, even though I was working virtually for years. Didn't matter where I planted my seeds. I was working virtually. The roadblock came when I moved to a small island, and I'm no longer sitting in the bureaucracy of a nation that allowed me to work regardless of where I was. So I then was stuck. How do I make money? I need to sustain myself. I don't speak French, and I can't learn French overnight to get a job, which was a prerequisite to get a job here. And even though they speak English right across the street from me, I didn't have the rights to work there. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm now limited to how I earn. So I have to be creative. I have to figure out, what can I do? I could, try to become, align with the company that would open up the borders, but that was very limited. I couldn't find a company that allowed me to do that. So until I started to become a freelancer. I know a lot of people like Sabir I've met, who's an amazing graphic artist. He went on Fiverr, and now it reaches out, gets some contract work through organizations, people off island or locally. You come and design your career according to your skill set. And then you have to figure out a way to do that in a way that makes sense for you without causing disruption for where you live. Guess what? I did not realize the extent of the reach with For Life. I did not know I could start a business with For Life, even though I loved the products. So my intent when it came on was to offer a solution for our clients when it comes to the detox program. That was my business, the detox program. But then For Life said, you know what? You can actually become an affiliate with this. And the fact that you're on an island in the middle of the Caribbean is doable. It may not be as easy as if you lived in the US, but it can be done. So that was where my mission head went down. I'm like, okay, so I could actually do this. I can actually earn money, alongside the detox program, which was become my freelance option. And this is where, I started to figure out what is the steps I needed to do. And there's like, okay, this form you have to fill in. There's a little bit of, this form you have to fill in. And then despite the fact that I'm in a little remote island, I was able to grow my business without having one customer here on the island. I don't have one customer here on the French side, just so you guys know. I haven't built my business on this island. My entire business is built externally. US, Canada, Australia, UK, externally. I think I have one person that she created an account, but she's actually based out of Canada, but she lives here on the island. But my next step is to grow the business on this island, because now I know the process of how to earn and how to make money. But I have to say, I have to thank the Lord and thank For Life and Dave and everybody around me and the support mechanism around me, including Lenny, who we really just met face to face today, because of them helping me with the roadblocks to allow me to sustain myself. Because at one point I didn't know I could. Everybody sees, oh, Gillian, she's such, great worker, got a great background. And despite my able and ability to grow everybody's business when I was on the ground in Canada, I had restrictions forced upon me because of bureaucracy and locations and because of borders. This company allowed me to do what I do best, which is build relationships globally. And then the added gift is I can earn to sustain my family. That in itself is a gift beyond borders, beyond limits. So I want you guys to walk away from today knowing you can do it regardless of where you're located. So everybody thinks I live in the Caribbean, I'm living an amazing life, and I'm probably on retirement and do this, that, and the other. No, I had restrictions. There's a reason why I'm down here. There's things that not everybody knows my backstory. I had problems with accessing some funds because of where I am and because of COVID and because of all the restrictions we had with a lot of things going on in the world. So I needed to think of something that aligned with my purpose and passion and purpose. And guess what? For Life came in and I was able to earn money. Yes, I had to do it a little bit differently. And yes, I didn't go the way that, J. Michael has the gift of being able to do so in the States. So I don't get paid the next day like they do with the Rapid Rewards. If you're in the States, you have the gift of being able to get a check the next day as soon as you sell something, or a direct deposit into your bank account. I get mine, with basically sent to me. It takes a few little steps along the way, but I do get my money, just so you know. But I want you to walk away knowing that there is an option for you and that it can happen. And for those that are in Africa, Dave has helped you immensely by streamlining that process. And this is where Lenny is going to talk to you about this. We have to thank Dave for allowing you to earn money and streamline the process in such a way that it makes it easy for you guys. And I don't want to not give you hope for those that are not in the US or North America or in a country that has a For Life office. There is a way to earn money as an emerging market. If anything, you have an opportunity to be a trailblazer and an opportunity to grow exponentially in those markets. Because once you grow and once you start building a business, people will want to get what we have. And that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up my foundation so that when we go live on the ground in where I am today, we're ready to receive. That's what I'm doing. So, but it doesn't stop me from earning externally. It doesn't stop me to sharing what I know is amazing products. And for those that are new to the company, you have to be part of our Good Health Storage and Solutions group, because then you can hear the testimonials that we are so proud to share. But the other thing that we don't probably do well enough is we don't share how well you can actually do financially with this. So it's not a bad thing to earn by sharing good. That is my thing. Feel good, share good. If you feel good, you want to share good. But guess what? There's nothing stopping you from having a good life. Because the more we each other have a good life, the more we'll share more. And more people will have an opportunity to earn from home, regardless of where they are. So I want to thank, Lenny for being behind the scenes and helping Dave be as successful as he is, because if he wasn't as successful and also being in a position to free it up to do what he does best, which is mentor us every Monday, we would not know all the tricks that we need to make it easier. So this is what today's important. This is about getting to know the people that are here to support you be successful. So you see J. Michael every Monday showing up. He doesn't have to show up, but he does. He shows up because he believes in what we're doing. We have Claudia, who's now, this is becoming her business. She's a global networker. I met her with Avon when she was a district sales manager. I met Dodie, who is, because of her same thing, with she was a field sales trainer like I was with Avon back in the day, but now she wants to do what we're doing, which is glow globally. She's in Canada, but she wants to glow globally and earn globally, because I don't know about you, if you haven't watched the news, Canada's not doing that great when it comes to the economic system right now. So what better way to be able to reach outside of your door to earn? So this is about today, knowing the support system. Later, we'll show you the checklist that you might need to make it easier. So don't just bear with us on that. But I want to say it can be done. Very quickly, as I got to understand the business and understand the process, I hit presidential elite very quick and fast and furious. And now we're setting up the foundation to grow further and then build locally as distributors on this island. I haven't even done that yet. So imagine what you could do if you could do both. And we're going to help you do that. Okay. So on that note, I need to introduce you to Lenny's, and she is from Salt Lake City, Utah. She is the right hand of Gabriella and Dave Daughtrey. So I'm going to bring you up, and you can hold on a second. So let me put you on spotlight. Okay. So hey, Lenny, it's nice to meet
Hi,
you
Gillian.
officially
Nice to
today.
meet you. Yeah,
So
good morning, everybody. For people that don't know me, my name is Lenny Paz. I'm originally from Venezuela. I moved here in the United States in 2002, I believe. And I got the blessing and the opportunity to start working, for the Daughtry's Incorporate for Life at the beginning of 2003. When all this project and For Life started, I basically that's when LP Center started to be part of For Life, and I was assigned to Dave Daughtrey. And after I believe 2 years, I just started working just for Dave Daughtrey, and I see him growing, and I think that it's a blessing for me to work backstage for his company and for his business, because every year and every time that I get the opportunity to see Dave speaking, it's like a first time for me. I mean, it's always, I really admire him, and I'm really proud of being part of his team. So I think that this time we're going to be talking about the LP centers. Right now we have an LP center in Africa. And Gillian, I don't know if you want me to start working how the LP center work in Africa and how we do business there.
yes. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be a lot of questions about the process, but yes, if you can explain the process for Africa for the LP Center. Yes, it's going to be a little bit different for places like Bangladesh and other countries, but we have a lot of people in Africa or people in Africa right now. But yeah, if you can explain that process, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, the model of LP Center basically is to have a business and to have the opportunity to provide service in emerging market. For Life called emerging market, all those market where they don't have like a corporate office. So initially, that's how we do. We send products there. We have a business, we have like an office, and they're in charge of provide the service like it's customer service, report LP, sell the products, and do all those Zoom meetings that you guys do. So what we do is that we have an office there. We sell the products, so they sell the products. They report that to me, and I make sure that we report the LP on time. And when we get the commissions, I just send the list to the LP center, and they pay their commissions. They have a specific day depending on the country. Usually, I think that is after the 15th of each month. They just pay their commissions based on their currency, and that's how it basically works. In order for this system to work, we need to follow some steps. Do you have the list that I sent?
Yes, I do. Would you like me to open it up or share it?
Sure.
1 second. I'm just going to hold on a second. Let me. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, just gonna. I don't know that. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. No. Okay. All right. So. All right. So basically, can you see it, Lenny?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
I want to just clarify that this applies just for Africa LP centers. Um, we have, I mean, For Life has like a link where it's a list of all the countries that they can just create a For Life preferred customer ID.
1 second. I was opening up the link to see if they would work, but I have to go through the CAPTCHA. But yeah, we'll go back. So okay, so this is the generic link.
Yes, if you go down a little bit so that way where it shows the country, if you click, go a little up.
It's up.
Country, just click that arrow.
Country.
Right? The market information.
No, go down. Right there. That's the list where basically For Life considered as emerging market, and you guys can have distributor from all those countries.
Is Kenya there?
Okay. Yeah. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So is anybody on here that's on like a specific country that they want me to check? Like here, I'm in emerging country, so St. Martin. I'm in the island of St. Martin. Okay. And I know we have a doctor on our team now from Rwanda. Same thing here. So he can open up an account from Rwanda. Okay. Now this is where, and can I just mention this to Lenny, because this is where I've seen other people get confused, because they go in and they look at market information. And I think that's where they'll look and they see, I don't see my market on here. But that's where there's a bit of a roadblock. If you find anybody going to this is not what's important. What is important is that they can open up an account, and this is the list, right, that they worry about. This is to make sure
the one on top, it's basically where For Life has corporate offices.
Okay. So that's good to know, because if, say, for instance, you're in Bangladesh, right? And we learned that you can actually open up an account because it allows you to go there, Bangladesh, right? They do ask you what market you would be working from. Like where's the closest market for them? Like where would they go? Like it'd be India, correct? That would be the closest.
Correct. And that's where For Life has corporate office. And that's are the countries where For Life can ship the products to.
Okay. So for instance, for that sake, then we would just look to find which country is closest to them if they choose to have products shipped to them, right?
Correct.
So it's always choose the country that's closest to you for cheaper shipping, right? Okay, makes sense. So if, say, for instance, you're in India, like you're in Bangladesh, you may choose India because that's closest to you. And then you would go and fill in the rest. So I'll go back to the form, but does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you create an ID number, as I mentioned in the email that I sent to Gillian, usually emerging market has like a $10 sign up fee. However, there's some months the For Life offer like the free sign up. That there's not the $10 fee that you have to pay. But usually it's the amount that the people has to pay in order to get a For Life distributed ID in the emerging market. So let's say that you guys have a prospect in the Africa continent. So if you guys want to get paid their commissions, because since it's an emerging market, For Life don't have that system that paid the commissions directly to the distributor. It has to be through an LP center. When I say we, I'm talking about Dave Daughtrey's team. He has an LP center in Africa. However, there's other platinums and distributors that they're allowed to have LP centers. They can be paid through them as well if we don't have an LP center in that specific country. If that's the case, we can just always, as I mentioned to Gillian, we can just find that information. I don't have that information on hand right now, because we're talking about all the countries in the world, but we can always get the answer through For Life, or you guys can just contact For Life directly and they will provide you the information. What's the epicenter close to your country? And you guys can get a hold of that epicenter and just find out what's their process in order to get commissions paid.
I'm just going to show you, if you go to contact us at the bottom of the page, you'll see there's an international contact information. There's an email you can send or a phone number, a 1-801 number you can call for the international. So if you have any questions, but to Lenny's point, we're here to support. So if you don't get the answers that you need, if you hit a roadblock, this is where we come into play, right?
Okay. When we use that website, the emerging market link, everybody starts as a
Right.
preferred customer. That's like the step by step through For Life. So you get a preferred customer ID number. The only information that we need to provide to For Life at this time is the LP Center authorization payment form, where you guys have to fill basically your name, your address, what country are you from, and which LP center you guys select to be the commissions paid for. In this case, this authorization form are automatically at the Plexer Africa, because that, I work from Dave. And if people ask me or ask our LP Center for that specific form, it's because they're requiring their commissions to be paid through us. However, if you guys contact a different LP Center, they will have the same form, but they will have that code that is assigned from For Life to them. If you guys want that form without this LP Center name ID number, I can just send it to Gillian and Gillian can just provide it to you guys. But usually this form needs to be provided by the LP Center that you guys want to be working with, because if you go a little down, the LP Center needs to sign as well. So
Okay.
this form, if you guys, for example, get this and send it directly to For Life is gonna get a hold of me and say, okay, we got this commission, but doesn't have like a LP Center signature, because we need to approve that. And the reason why we need to approve that is because they need to get all that information on hand, like bank information, and I don't know what's gonna be the payment method, depending on the country. So once the LP Center set that as well and say, okay, do you want our commissions be paid for us? This is your bank information. So everything, all the paperwork is done. They just sign it and they just send it directly to For Life.
Okay. And I don't want anybody getting like overwhelmed with all of this stuff. This is stuff that we're going to like keep it simple later for you. And remember, you always work with your upline and to make sure those roadblocks are covered for you. So we just don't want you to, miss out. We've seen this happen with people. We just assume that they have the information, but we'll make sure that, those T's are crossed for you. Okay. And then should I show him this one?
Yeah.
That's the distributor application and agreement.
Yes, once a preferred customer, you have your ID number and you start signing up people and you have like a downline, so then you change your status from preferred customer to builder, or
Affiliate,
any
yeah.
rank that you reach that specific month. So on that case, For Life require the emerging market fills the application, the distributed application. For Life is really strict. They have to have all the documents on hand and on file in order for their commissions to be paid. So that's one of the big, in the past, we're getting a lot better, that sometimes they don't get their commissions paid and they just ask the LP Center or ask For Life, why my commissions hasn't been paid, through this LP Center, and it's because of basically missing documents.
Okay, so that's good to know. All right, so what is, I think that, is that it for the, let me see. Okay. So I think you've covered all of that. So, I mean, it's really just two major documents that they have to send, right? According to what
Right.
my understanding. So let me just stop sharing my screen. Okay. Where am I? I can't find my stop sharing button. 1 second. Okay. Did I stop sharing or it's still sharing?
Still sharing.
Okay, I don't know why it can't seem to stop. Where's my stop sharing? There is it. Bear with me, guys.
Pretty view.
Yeah, like that. That's my screensaver, but I'm just trying to find out where I've got too many windows open here. Okay, I'm going to host, you can share. I can't seem to stop sharing, guys, so we'll just give me a second until I finish it. Okay, it's not letting me stop sharing. So anyway, on that note, then for the sake of this exercise today, we want to make sure that you can't seem to stop it.
The green button.
Yeah, I know. It's just my screen is not opening. I'm locked.
Hold on just a second.
I am locked right now. So does anybody have any questions inside the chat that maybe we can ask Lenny while I'm figuring this out?
Sure. I think I did see some in there. One is, it says the problem comes when they want to set up a loyalty program. I'm not sure. You might have to open up your mic and explain that question. And then another one is, I know Americans in Germany with credit cards, it's a problem to have a German shipping address and a US billing address. Am I the only one seeing the problem in other countries? I can't get host country credit cards.
Yeah, see,
Lenny?
this is Rita. I'm the one that wrote that about the Germany. If I have a customer in Germany, they have to order from the European
Right.
side of For Life. They can't go out to USA to get it and bring it through an APO, because that'll get them in trouble for importing supplements to their personal mailbox. However, when I'm looking at how they would set the account up, it's set up to say Germany. You put in their German address so they can receive their items. But when it starts asking for a billing address, it's going to be the US address on their US credit card. However, because it's set up for Germany, it won't let them put in a US address. And they can't just change their address on their credit card, because they probably have other things like subscriptions. And when they change the address on their credit cards, then it's going to throw everybody off, for other payments, you see. So what they're having is a Germany address for shipping and a US address for billing, but there's no way to actually set that up for a loyalty program. They can order on Shop and it works okay, because it doesn't seem to be a problem there. But when they try to set up an account, that's where they can't put in their US billing address. And that means that my customers in Germany will never be able to set up a loyalty program unless we can overcome this problem.
On this case, I think that For Life do that to prevent fraud. You have to get a hold, or any distributor with that case need to get a hold of corporate, in this case, Germany. And I'm saying that because it's happening today, when sometimes we support new distributors with loyalty orders in South America. We have Colombia and Peru and even Ecuador that we support with loyalty order using a USA credit card. So what I've been doing is that we have, since the credit card is under, Dave Daughtrey, so I'll just go ahead and get a hold of corporate in Peru and corporate in Ecuador and corporate in Colombia and say, this is the case, we're going to be supporting loyalty order for this amount of time, and they manually are the one who entered that information.
Oh, I have to contact corporate in Germany and try my best at speaking their language.
Well,
to get,
there's,
I mean, each of my customers are not fluent in German, you know, so.
Where are you located at?
Well, these people are stationed with the military, and some of them retirees that stayed over there. And so they would have access to the military base where they have a credit card, you know, from the credit union or the bank. And so that's why, and it's very difficult for them to just go off base and get a bank account because well, first of all, they have a lot of fees. And second, they just don't, unless you put all your pay into the German bank, they don't like to start accounts for Americans. And then they have to worry about the tax thing, you know, with the foreign accounts and all that. So they just stick with their American accounts on the base. And so that's why they need a way to have a separate billing address that's in a different country. But it's you're saying that each individual that doesn't speak fluent German would have to call.
I'm not saying that you have to write in English. I mean, in German, you can just send an email in English and they can just work on it and just get back with you.
So,
or get a hold of corporate in USA, since the credit card is in USA, and say, okay, this is my case. Every case is individual. So you can just get a hold of USA corporate office
and
say, this is my case. But basically, that's what they're going to be doing to prevent fraud.
Yeah, I understand. But
yeah,
so every
Rita,
individual, you're saying every individual though that wants to set up a loyalty program in Germany with an American credit card has to contact corporate before they can set up the loyalty program.
Yes, because if you're trying to do it online, it's not allowing you to do it.
yeah.
Yes. So okay, so that's
not a
probably
long
that's gonna be a deterrent then for me to get the customers, because they're not likely to want to go through all that trouble.
Well, I think, Rita, can I just interject here? Because this is where, you know, it's just like when any online purchases, sometimes you just have to validate as a person the credit card is going to go through. So it's just it's a protection, like to Lenny's sake, not just for the company, but for the person. So they just need to make sure that yes, it might be a matter of, yes, I approve this credit card amount on my account, and this quick phone call. And there is, each country will have a phone number that they'll be directed to. So there's an international email, international@forlife.com. It might be a matter of just say, I have a customer who wants to set up a loyalty account. You know, what number does they call to validate the credit card in Germany, right? And then they would, it's just like you know, I'm on an island in St. Martin, but I need to call, you know, Canada sometimes for my customers because I have a Canadian customer. Like, what number did they call? So they just need to know what number they need to call. You know, and realistically, I think if you go on, correct me if I'm wrong, if you go to each person's website, like a country's website, it'll tell you the contact number. If you hit contact us, regardless of which country you go in. But there's a generic one, like Rita, that you could be calling on their behalf for any questions like this.
I can call on their behalf?
Right, no, just right now, you can call on their behalf as their upline and say, I have a customer. What steps would make it easy for them to put their loyalty, and explain the situation to them? Because they probably, like Lenny has done for Dave, has sorted it out. But go to 4Life directly when it comes to money. You know, it's like with any company, you have to call them directly when it comes to money issues, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's totally understandable. I just want to make sure that I can do it in a smooth way that doesn't deter customers saying, oh, this is just too much trouble. Never mind. You know, I mean, it's hard enough just to get them in the door. But the minute I have to tell them you have to call to set up your loyalty order, you can't do it online. Oh, never mind.
Well,
you know.
I think we've all gone through that as a consumer. Like even myself, I had to, verify, yes, this payment's going to go through here. Yes, because I'm in a tiny island in St. Martin. I'm not trying to live in the Caribbean. I'm not trying to, scam money here and there, money
No, of
laundering.
course.
So, but it was just a quick phone call, and they're really good, really, really good. What we're
And
doing is,
and they can speak to them in English.
or the German, or whichever. Though they can't speak to them, find somebody that can. That's the beauty of this, right? So,
Yeah.
yes, J. Michael, you had something to.
I was going to
interject?
say, Rita, sometimes some cases, I've actually, you said, can I call on their behalf? I've actually done a three-way. I get my customer or my preferred customer, and they want to sign on, and I say, okay, let's call corporate. And then I call corporate and I say, I'm her sponsor, or they're down on my downline. Here's my ID number. She is having a problem. Can you help her? So
Three-way.
we just do a three-way, and then it gets done
three-way
that way.
call.
So that way they're not having to try to explain it because they don't know the questions to ask. So just do a three-way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Lenny, go ahead, Lenny.
Yeah,
Your
and
turn.
sometimes applies the other way when we have distributors from other countries. Like I have case in Mozambique in South America. They want to buy products in the USA, and the bank, to prevent fraud, they have to call the bank and say, okay, I'm just gonna do a purchase online in the USA, and I'm authorizing this amount of money. So sometimes it's not even for life, the one who has those restrictions are the banks or the credit card holders bank, that they just, to prevent fraud, and I keep repeating that, they just block all those transactions. And I think that it happened not even with 4Lives, any transaction or any online transaction that someone out of the country wants to do in the USA and the other way. A USA customer that has a credit card and want to use a credit card purchase online in another country.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions about, or maybe some feedback on how we can help you with this process? Because I do myself, I went through a little bit of a hurdle of understanding, how to do it myself. And now I'm pretty good, but remember, we're dealing with global markets, so we don't always know the answers, but we're willing to learn, just like did. Like, nobody actually signed up in St. Martin before, right? And now, lo and behold, actually got to the point where I remember the corporate offices had no idea it existed until my name showed up. We have a presidential elite in St. Martin, Caribbean. Maybe we might want to give her a phone call because, like, we didn't even know we had a market out there. So you never know the potential, what you could be doing. And we want to put more, countries on the map. And that's our role, is to help grow this community beyond borders, beyond limits. And it can be done, So we always try to work within the countries that, have been presented to us, but I don't think that's an issue today. We work globally, right? We all work globally. We all have connections globally. So what's stopping us from sharing globally? So I want to thank Lenny for today for showing up. But Lenny, is there any other tips that you can share with us to help maybe people, learn this process going forward?
I'm just writing for life right now and asking if customer service in for life in Germany, they speak English, so that way we have that clear. So if they get back with me before this meeting it's over, I can answer that right away. If not, I'll send that answer to you, Gillian, so that way you can
Perfect.
just let
Thank
everybody
you.
know.
And we might invite you. We don't want everybody going to you directly, Nanny, because I know you got a lot on your plate. But yeah, please use the community. I just want to remind everybody, the Upline Pro community, and we also have a chat group inside that community. that if you have questions like this, please leverage each other, because you may have already gone through that roadblock. You know, somebody that's in Colombia, Anna, you're in Colombia. I have a girl that might be interested in Colombia. You might have an answer in the process to make it simpler in Colombia, right? You know, there's, you know, especially Lewis is in UK, so he might know the roadblocks of going to UK. You know, so Kenya, like we all have this amazing support mechanism, but I think sometimes we're so busy trying to figure it out from ourselves that we're not leveraging the community that can help us do this faster, right? So I just, that's why we're doing the Upline Pro community. It is, you know, please invite your friends and family into that group that are part of your team, because the more we can leverage each other's roadblock learning. Sometimes we've all got a roadblock, and I've had my own. But if it's interesting, because something as simple as what Lenny shared to me today, I wish I knew that. If I'd known that, I would have saved myself 3 months, right? Like, you know, and even like Dodie and I went through this the other day. It was something as simple as, well, I thought they got my form, but they didn't get my form. Right? So we just have to trust but verify, and then support each other, you know, and then ask the questions. You never know, somebody else in this group here could answer us. Make sense? On that note, thank you, Lenny. I know it's 10:02, but I do want to go over a couple of highlights for this week, if that's okay with you. And if there's any other questions in here, maybe you can help point them out for me, Claudia. We can answer, and then, but I just want to go over highlights for this week. I will be going live tonight inside the Detox for Longevity community at 8 p.m. just to share an announcement about some things, our activities coming for the Detox for Longevity program, which is a partnership program with For Life, for those that don't know. We do have tomorrow, we have Dr. Regina's here on the call from Kenya. He does have a call tomorrow. If maybe somebody in the chat can remind us what the topic is.
It's diabetes. I believe it's diabetes.
That is a great call.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Regina, but pretty sure it's diabetes.
Yes.
Yes,
so
it is diabetes.
Perfect. So make sure you attend his calls. We always learn something new, but he always offers us a solution that we can do in terms of preventative measures with For Life products. Always a lot to learn. So it doesn't matter where you're from. I always learn a lot by going to Dr. Kenya's calls, Dr. Regina's call in Kenya. And then on Tuesday night, we do have good health stories and solutions. The topic is actually on collagen. So we did a live last week, and we got a lot of people engaged in that call last week. So we're going to try to go live. What we do need help with, guys, we need volunteers that are really tech savvy. I'm pretty good, but I'm not that great. And today, even just getting live into the community, you know, little roadblocks. But if somebody's really good at doing Zooms and streaming live and helping us to prepare to do this on an ongoing basis, put your hand up, get back to me. We want to reach out more people, but we need more volunteers to help us do this. Okay. So Tuesday night call at 8 p.m. is all about introducing people to the benefits of our collagen and what it does for your mobility, but educating people on why we have such amazing products. I think that's another thing that we need to do, is start telling people why we have amazing products, similar to what Dr. Regina does, but we want to have those discussions about what it can do for your health. So that's Tuesday night call. And then on Wednesday night, we have the business opportunity meeting. So what better time to introduce people to what we have to offer? 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be a live business opportunity meeting, and it is free, right, J. Michael, to join in North America. So no skin off anybody's nose. If you know anybody, they should be going to our business opportunity meeting. And there is a condensed version of the business opportunity meeting for those to learn. Don't get overwhelmed with the new one that we have. It's actually interactive, and it's a link you can send afterwards for people to learn more about the business. But that's going to be Wednesday night, and we're going to toy with the idea of having it one on Thursday at noon. So bear with us. But for a lot of you that are in like areas like Bangladesh, India, Uganda, you know, and even, you know, the African team, we may want to do one, start getting into the habit of doing one on Thursdays again, so that we can get bigger and go beyond borders and beyond limits, like you said, right? So on that note, I want to say thank you, Lenny, for your contribution tonight. And I think it's well, today. And I want to thank for many, it is at the evening. So I'm going to hand it back over to you, J. Michael. Okay.
Thank you very much. And by the way, guys, all those meetings that she talked about are on the calendar at on Dave's website. So you can go to his calendar. It's easy access. And there's, gosh, Claudia, you told me, what are there, like 40 meetings on that? We've got Portuguese, English, and Spanish, but all the meetings are on his calendar with the link that you can just click on and join those meetings. So Claudia, before I go, you had your hand up. Did you have something you wanted to say, or?
Just a couple of things, but really quickly, I wanted to see if you saw Jesse's question before we let
might have
Lenny
missed it.
go. That was my number one. And the second one is that if you do have already an affiliate number, don't forget to check at the bottom the resources tab. Because if you're signing up somebody in a country that already has an office, which Casey and I did the other day, we signed up somebody from India, there's a little booklet or a form, depends on the country, that specifically has the instructions very clear on step-by-step how to sign up that person in that country, because it will depend on what country you are, what ID you have to send. Sometimes you might have to send one with a picture, sometimes you don't. And so things like that. So little things like that will cause that speed bump that Gillian says. And if you don't send the paperwork properly, then your checks or your payments are delayed. And you know, we're all working hard to get as fast as we can the money into our new person's account or into our new person's hand. And sometimes for them to wait a whole month, it's very, you know, they will get sad. So just make sure that you are going to, again, your upline, or making sure that you're reading everything. The resources tabs are there, and they have a lot of things that people can go through. And so it's very important that for each country or each sign up, you go through that. So that's all, J. Michael. I'll let you see if with the time that we have, if we can address Jesse's question.
What was Jesse's question? I haven't been able to find it. Or Jesse, are you
Yeah,
ready to go?
Jesse's asking, Lenny's, and this one's for you. That's why I wanted to do it before you go. She says, Jessie from Kenya is saying that she has a concern because she has bought LPs in South Africa, but they're not reflecting, and she's raised the matter with her upline, but she's not getting through the answer. So should she go through you in a private email? Should she, what would be the situation there? What do we do there, Lenny?
Yes. Usually we work through the LP Center, but if you don't get an answer from an LP Center, you can just get a hold of me and say, okay, and just send me an email with your case, and I can just work on it. As I can tell you, I already transferred the report from South Africa last week, but she will send me another one either today or tomorrow. But yeah, they can send me an email.
All right.
Let me
And so
just
this is
write
for mainly Africa. I just want to remember everybody else, because we have a lot of people from other countries here, and some of you came in late. So even though Lenny's is dealing with Dave's points everywhere in the world, Dave really only has one LP right now, which is Africa. If you have a matter, let's say you are dealing with something in Mexico, which happened yesterday, just an example, those LPs, somebody was saying, do we have an office in Mexico City, which is the capital? And I thought that was strange, because we only have one in Tabasco. And I thought, oh, okay. So I found out, and we have 4 LP centers in Mexico, but they're all managed by independent distributors, just like what we are being taught here by Lenny's. So if you have a matter, that matter should go first through that LP center and then escalate up towards that. So you don't just go sometimes you do go to your upline for help, but each LP center gets managed independently, but they are authorized but for life. So you have to be careful, make sure that they are the legal ones, let's put it this way. And if they are, then at the end, it's going to escalate all the way to for lives because they are authorized by for life. So Mexico is a good example, 4 LP centers, but only 1 office in 1 city, which is Tabasco. That doesn't mean that you cannot get your products for your people in 4 different cities that are managed by other affiliates that have the responsibility and the work and the job like that Lenny's does to do your points, assign your payments. Dr. Regina in Kenya is the office that does this, right? And then it goes up to somebody else that is managing that. So shipping comes from Utah to another city to that LP point. Points get assigned and then information gets back, and it all gets managed anyway at the end by For Life Corporate so that they can give you your commissions, your titles, your recognition, and all of that. So it's a huge process, but do remember that to close this, J. Michael, I love that For Life to me is one of the few companies, I don't know any other company that can manage over 100 countries around the world. So it's impressive. It really is that we are able to do this in over 100 countries. So Michael, back to you. Thank you for the time.
Thanks. And it is the top of the hour, so we're going to let everyone go. And it's wonderful to see what a... I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
This is okay.
Anyway,
have
real quick. Gillian, what? Yes, real quick.
I do have a quick video. I'm not sure if the sound will work, but I will share it inside the community. We have a little video that one of our volunteers created, and it's really timely. I'm hoping that you can hear the sound. If not, it's only like a minute long, but I'll share it inside the community so you can watch it. If that's okay with you
great.
guys. I just think it'd be a nice closeout. Let me see if it works. And if it sound doesn't work, like I said, I will share it after the community.
No sound, but we can see it. We can read it, but no sound.
Okay. Sorry, there's no sound, but I'll share
what a great.
Jillian,
You'll see it.
Is it good supposed to be backwards? I'm reading it backwards.
No, it's
Oh, it turns around. I see.
yeah, so it turns around. So anyway, on
I
that
got you.
note, I will share the video inside the community, but the whole point is that we're trying to create a
Yay.
global community. We have a lot of volunteers, and like Sabir has actually done it. And stay tuned, our Facebook cover for the Good Health Solutions is changing. A lot of really exciting stuff happening, a lot of great talent coming, but we do need some more volunteers to help us get this mission out there. So if you are tech friendly, please help J. Michael, Claudia, and I to help manage these Zooms because they're getting bigger. And I thank you, Stanley, for supporting, but we want more people helping. And I want to give kudos where kudos is deserved. And thank you again, Jen Lenny, for being such a,
Appreciate it.
and actually, can I ask, because I don't want to hand out your email, should we have them funnel through the community first before we hand out your email? Because people are already asking, how can we contact you? So.
Yes, I prefer, and actually that's my main way to work, through email. You guys can send me an email, and if I have the answer right away, I'll reply. If not, I always reply letting you know what I'm doing, or I'll just send you the contact
What is your-
information of the people that can go with you on your specific questions.
So if you
let-
would like to share my
I
email,
have-
just want to make sure that we have the email there, and we'll share that inside the community as well. Thank you so much, Lenny. We appreciate you. And on that note, thank you, everybody.
When you guys send me the email, I'll really appreciate if you guys send me your ID number, so that way I can just work with Dave's Premier Rep in For Life and say, okay, this person. So that way, because I don't see, since I work with Dave, I don't see everything on their account, but I have a For Life rep. They can just work with me and just see everything, in their backend system and find the answer right away.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Lenny.
you. Thank you, everybody. And just so you know, next week, what's happening, J. Michael?
Oh,
What's
next
happening
week, by the way, yes, next week, next Monday, our special presenter next week is Fernando. He's the Director of Sales and Field Development for Life at corporate office. And he's going to be talking about compliance and making compliance fun and not be scared about compliance. It's going to be a dynamic meeting. He's our guest speaker next Monday on the 28th. There is an event, and you can go to our private group. It's on Facebook, Upline Pro Inner Circle, the name of our group. And we'd love to have you join us. It's open to everyone, as Gillian said. So thanks everyone for joining us. We'll let you go on and enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are on God's green earth. Appreciate all of you joining us today. I hope it was an educational. Hope you got something out of it. And we are a community of contribution. So join in. If you need help, reach out to one of us. We'll be glad to help you. God bless everyone. See you
Have a
later.
great day, everybody. Thank you. And
Thank
you.
bye, everybody.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
I got
Bye.
this.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.